What is going on YouTube? Jason Dragon Bane here, and I managed to get another match in today, and this time it happened to be against harpies. If you've played Firefist for quite a while, the harpy matchup is extremely hard, especially with harpies hunting ground just constantly popping your back row. So it's always one of the really tough matchups to play against, and I managed to scrape out a victory in this match. So let's go ahead and go right into it. My opening hand was pretty darn good, so I went Dragon, Tenki combo. Dragon said Tenkin, transmodified him into Swallow. Swallow then said Tensin, and then I passed. Unfortunately for me, this harpy player opened up about as good as you could possibly get with Hunting Ground and Chandler just going completely off. So he goes into all this stuff that harpies usually do, makes Dragosack, and unfortunately for me, Harpy 1 makes Dragosack just tougher than my Swallow, so I'm going, okay, I'm in a really bad position, but I'm okay. I saw Wolfbark, draw into another bear, and I was like, okay, Wolfbark, and unfortunately for me, that Icarus attack really hurt, and now he draws into a Mystical Space Typhoon to make Summoner Monk live, goes on Key Beetle, protects Dragosack, bounces back, and this is where he hits me for just game. I had no way of absolutely stopping that, so I just surrendered and was like, alright, let's move on to game 2. Alright guys, we're back for game 2, and again, my hand was ugly. I don't know what it was. Well, it wasn't. My first hand was pretty good. This hand, on the other hand, was just not very good. I saw both Gorillas, Misty, and Mirror Force and Bear with no fire formations to work with. So I was like, alright, let's just go through this. And I decided in Gozer and Reverie because I still have not found any good cards to side against Harpies. So I was like, alright, let's try both of these in combination because he was playing Harpies Pet Dragon. So he sets 2, I go for Gorilla to swing through, set Tenkin and pass. He goes Harpies Hang Ground. I was like, no, Misty that before you can go off with that. Fortunately, he had Queen, so he still gets to go off. Pops the Ghost match. I was like, no, Mirror Force the Cyber Lady. I really want Gorilla to stay there. I go Tenki, but thankfully he didn't have the Misty. I popped the field card. Summon Bear, he Torrentials, I protect him. Here I really do a stupid move that I always seem to catch myself doing against Harpies, and I need to stop doing it. He flippin' has a Stark Sign, and I always Gorilla Pop it, so I manage him to plus like crazy. This is the one hard part about this matchup is you want to clear back row, but in this matchup, it just really hurts when they clear your back row and then you can't do much because you're not sure if you're going to be hitting a Hysteric Sign. So he goes Big Eye, takes my Tiger King. Guy's like, okay. So I go Wolfbark, summon out my one little Fire Fist in there. Thankfully, I still had one in there. Go Tiger King, Tenki, negate their effects. Bear, pop Big Eye, kill over my Tiger King, swing for damage, put Goyoko down. I was like, and pray to God that he doesn't get anything really good. So he summons Queen, beats over Bear. I was like, that's fine. Because I still have Tiger King. I draw on a Raven, so I was like, okay, negate the effects. Go into Dragon, swing, set Raven, pass turn. He draws into nothing he can work with, so he scoops, and we're moving on to game 3. Alright guys, we're back for game 3, and again, my hand was not great. I saw Reverie the Warlord, so I was like, okay, if he starts with the Chandler play, I'm okay, but anything beyond that, it's just bad. So I was like, okay, sets 3, like, okay, summon Gorilla. Transmodify him since Gorilla got on the field. He'll set Tenkin. Swing. He had the Mirror Force to get rid of Swallow, so I was like, okay, fine, set everything and pass. He draws in the Icarus attack. Goes into Chandler, hits me for 14, sets 2 more. I draw into Tenki, so I was like, okay, Tenki. He had Icarus attack, destroyed Tenki and one of the rivalries. I was like, this is okay. He Pokemon's right when I summon Bear. He should have waited until the battle phase when Bear declared an attack, so Tenki wouldn't work. So I go main phase 2, Goyoko. Hit Hysteric Sign, thank God. He Dark Holes my Bear, and I was like, okay. So I get 4, I was like, screw it, 4 beat down. So he draws into another Hysteric Sign, does nothing, and passes. I draw into another Bear. Switch forward to attack, swing, damage step. I went to do this. He had he had a random lance. I was like, okay, that's fine. I still get Tanky off. So I go, okay, Tanky, grab Dragon, go Cardinal, put my 2 Tankies back, give him Lance and Book back because I can protect against those and they won't hurt me that bad. He draws an Effect Veiler, sets a Hysteric Sign and the Effect Veiler. So I go Tanky into Gorilla because I sighted out my Goyokos because I still haven't found good stuff to sight in and out for the Harpy matchup. So I was like, alright, I'll sight out my Goyokos. I'm thinking that I should probably do the opposite now and sight in my 3rd Goyoko just to try and hit more with Hysteric Signs. Because what I end up doing is doing Gorilla Pop on Hysteric Signs. So I was like, okay, I have to do a lot of damage right now before he gets 3 ads. This is the time I really wish I still ran double Cowboy in my extra deck. But unfortunately, I can't do that. So I was like, okay, we're just going to go into as much protection as I can. I could play my Tanky that turn, so I was like, okay, it's probably going to get popped. He had Hunting Grounds. I was like, yep, there goes Tanky. Summoned the Flippin' Dancer, got rid of Rivalry, bounced back, got rid of Goyoko, played this, laid out an Egotist to summon out this one, popped my Tansen, so I was forced to chain. This is what I really hate about the Harpy matchup is they can +3 with Hysteric Sign, whether it's popped by you or your opponent, or by them or you, and they get super pluses on that, and then Hunting Ground just clears back row like no business. So it's just really hard to match up for Fire Fist. Thankfully for me, he went Ouroboros, didn't know what Swallow did, so he had only one thing he could bounce back. So he went to kill Swallow. I was like, okay, I need a good top deck, and I draw into Tanky. I was like, oh, thank you. Draw Tanky into Bear, summon Bear, and he scoops. I was like, thank you. I was praying to God he didn't have another Effect Veiler anywhere. But it was a really good little match I had. It was a tough match. It was hard fought against on both sides. But I ended up coming out with a victory on that one, and we got 1 bonus duel to go. Alright guys, we're back for the bonus duel of this video. And it was against Agents, and I happened to start with some good cards in my hand. I had Onslaught, Fiendish, Goyoko, Tanky, and Misty, so I was like, okay, this is really good. So his 6th card happened to be Agent Venus, so it really lucked out for him. So he goes into the standard Agent Venus Gotchi play, sets 1. I was like, okay, draw into Tensu. Misty, the backfield happened to be Misty. I was like, Onslaught, okay, Maxi. I was like, okay, let's change things a little, so I summoned Swallow just so I could beat over Venus. Went into Dragon combo, beat over Venus, set Fiendish and pass. Swallow dies through Onslaught. He goes Pod Duality, grabs Hyperion, summons Card Trooper, mills 3, comes to attack Dragon. I could not allow him to do that. I wasn't going to rely on top decking the monster. Thankfully, I would have top decked Wolfbark, but I didn't want to just rely on that alone. So I decided to protect Dragon, use his effect, summon Swallow. Swallow's effect was setting Tensen. Went into Tiger King. Set Tanky. Tanky grabs another Wolfbark. Negated everybody's effect, so I killed over both his Card Trooper and his Gotchi. And right here, it was pausing right as I was doing damage, so I knew he had Trags somewhere. So I didn't decide to go for Wolfbark, I just decided to leave it at that and see what he would do. So he Dark Holes, which was really unfortunate for me, so I was like, okay, protect Swallow, because Swallow's a little bit more viable for me to protect right now. Here I did a slight misplay. I knew he had Hyperion, so I should have done Tensen and chained to Tenkin to make Swallow tougher, but I completely forgot that he had Hyperion at the time, so my Tensen chain was actually really worthless, but oh well. So he comes, beats over Swallow, sets his Misty, passes turn. I still had Goyoko from my first turn, so I was like, okay, Goyoko, your backfield, summon Wolf. Wolf effect, bring Dragon, and then Dragon Wolf, and then they'll overlay into Tiger King. Tiger King will bring Tensu, play Tensu, summon Dragon, beat over Hyperion, swing for 2400. He drops Shrag. I was like, okay, I went for Dragon's Effect, forgot I only had Tiger King and Swallow down, so I was like, okay, let's go for Swallow because he's a little bit better. Set Tenson. He draws into Gores, and unfortunately that's where he couldn't do anything because he couldn't use Dragon's Effect to target either of my monsters to take them. So he couldn't overlay into anything, so it was really good for me. And unfortunately for him, he knew that with Goyoko on his backfield, Gores was never going to get off. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like down below, comment as always, and always don't forget to subscribe.